Hi everyone, welcome to the IoT Hero Show, my weekly showcase of thought leadership in the Internet of Things. My name is Tom Raftery, I'm the Global IoT Evangelist for SAP, and now, on with the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the IoT Hero Show. We are at the d-kom event in Karlsruhe, and with me I have Pascal Rauprecht. Pascal, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, it's Rauprecht, so fairly close.
Okay, good. Pascal, you are with SAP. What's your role in SAP?
I'm a product owner for the SAP Asset Intelligence Network.
Asset Intelligence Network. What is that?
So you can say that it's kind of like a network, like a LinkedIn for assets. So in LinkedIn we have the people and they communicate and on business terms and they exchange information there. And the same we do in the Asset Intelligence Network. There the asset is in the middle. So manufacturers can put information of the asset in there. We call it digital twin. So that's like the digital replica of what we have physically. They can put it in AN. They can share it with stakeholders like the operating companies, service providing companies, even audit or insurance companies. And they can collaborate. And this is kept up to date. So that's the new change we bring. As of now, we're still lacking in getting information up to date. Once the asset is shipped to the operator, they struggle to get newer information from the manufacturer, like a new spare part list or other things. So that's what we try to achieve with SAP AN.
So the days of getting a pile of books from the manufacturer along with whatever device you ordered or a DVD are going away?
Exactly. So that's exactly what we want to get rid of. I think getting rid of documents as such, like PDFs and other things, that might take a bit more time, right? But we want to have it provisioned digitally to the operating company, and not only to the operating company, within the manufacturers, within the supply chain of the manufacturer. We also want to enable them to share information with each other more easily. As of now, I heard there are even departments in the manufacturer which is producing the finished good, just taking care of gathering all the documents of suppliers. And this we can get rid of, actually. This effort we can get rid of by having the supplier sharing the information directly over AIN. So that's one benefit.
So the manufacturer's suppliers share the information through AIN with the manufacturer, who then shares it with the operator and any service centers, and it's all by permission.
Exactly. So we have a security concept that it's not an internet. We don't put an asset in there and everyone can see it in the internet. So you have to invite someone explicitly, like you invite a person in LinkedIn. So you invite the company first, and the second level of security, you have to invite them for a specific asset or model type. So that's the two-level security we have.
Okay.
So, yep.
And apart from getting rid of the documentation and the DVDs and so on, what other benefits does it have?
Yep. So it's not only about master data. Of course, there's a big benefit on just sharing master data, but it doesn't stop there. So we tightly integrate to predictive maintenance and services, and also to our CP IoT services. So we can connect sensor data to AN. We can make it visible in AN. That's just another feature we have in AN. Another one is the communication. So what you do in LinkedIn, you send messages back and forth. As of now, when it comes to assets, it's more or less mails, fax, maybe even telephone calls. Mm-hmm. So this can be substituted by an AN, we call it announcement. So manufacturers can use our announcement object in AN to communicate certain things, like a spare part list change or something else, new drawings, etc. So all of that, or a new model even, can be announced using AN.
Okay. Now, this is the IoT Hero Show, and you mentioned the devices themselves can communicate. Can you talk to me something about that?
Yes. So what we recently done at the SPS show in Nuremberg is that we worked together with Hilscher and Anderson Hauser, Samsung, and a few others, where Hilscher provided a gateway, just like a little small box, where we could plug and play Anderson Hauser sensors or Samsung sensors. The Hilscher gateway, in turn, would automatically register the equipment. So there is no manual effort needed by the operator anymore. The equipment is registered, and by the equipment, they also have all the documentation, all the information they need in order to run that asset more efficiently.
Okay, and what kind of information would the asset be broadcasting?
So it highly depends on the sensor type. I think during the Hilscher case, we connected a flow meter. So this is something like throughput or other things. For high-value sensors, you most commonly have two measuring principles. And what we did there is to collect those two sensor data about, for example, throughput, right? And maybe the throughput for one is number 1, and the other throughput is 1.1. So we have a deviation there. And that's what we showed, that we can pull the sensor data and we can make sense out of it. So we can measure the delta and really communicate to the operator, well, there's a big delta. You have to look into your sensor. One of the two measuring principles is not working properly anymore, so you have to do something. And that's just one use case. I think it's always important to not only collect the sensor data, but also to make use of it. And that's why we also get the manufacturers into the boat, because they have the most experience and they can highly contribute to our AN.
Okay, and it must be new for manufacturers to suddenly be able to see the data coming back from the devices that they, in the past went out the door and they never saw or heard from them again.
Exactly. So it's about sensor data, and it's just about the plain information where the asset is. Even this is the install-based knowledge. Where are my assets? That's a huge benefit for manufacturers to see where they're actually used and how they're used. So if you have a smart asset, you can get the sensor data and you can pull them into your own database and you can do some analysis. Always with the assumption that the operator is sharing those sensor data with you. If that's the case, they can put it into their database and make sense out of it. And well, I guess the final outcome is to improve their assets, to be even more competitive towards others.
Okay, and what about the idea that they could use this to change their business model?
Exactly. So what we see here is that manufacturers, they offer a basic set of information to operating companies, which they get for free once they get the asset. And then they offer premium packages, which they sell to operating companies. So they don't give it out for free. Operators have to buy it. And that's information, and that's also analyzed information. Like I just mentioned with the heartbeat, with the two measuring principles. That's one use case. And this they don't give for free, maybe, but they might sell it. So that's a new business model. That's a new revenue stream which can be created. And then I think in an industry where sensors are getting more and more closer and alike, I think service, that's what might matter for manufacturers.
And making that information available to service centers as well, for example?
You mean service providers and others? Exactly. So there's not only the manufacturer and the operator. Most of the times the operators have service providing companies who go and maintain the assets. And usually they also have a lot of expertise and they can look into this data and they can make suggestions based on that. So it's not only 3 parties, it's a lot of parties. If you think about auditing companies, right, they can also get involved. They can the whole process of certification can be much easier. They don't have to find the equipment anymore, at least not struggling to find it. They can look into AN and they see where to find it, without the operator having to give them access to their own ERP system. So that's a crucial thing. They just go into AN, they share the equipment and the location data, and then they can go into there and find the equipment more easily.
Okay, and you mentioned as well insurance companies.
Exactly. So if an insurance company has more insights into the asset performance or what the asset is doing day in, day out, they might lower premiums. So that could be a big advantage also for operating companies and in the end also for insurance companies. If they can offer that service, they have an advantage over others who are not part of AN yet.
I've in the last couple of months working with SAP, I've talked to 2 different startup IoT companies, both of whom, when they heard about AIN, got extremely excited because both of them are going to be selling to large organizations like municipalities or things like that. And for them to be able to approach the municipality and say, all the data will be in AIN, it's a huge selling point for them. Do you think this is another, maybe it's just the 2 companies I talked to, or do you think this is a bigger, broader selling point for AIN? I
think that's of course a selling point, and the partner network we have in SAP in general, this also applies to AIN. What we did with AIN, it's a cloud platform application with open APIs. Not open, but RESTful APIs, which are just standard and common. Mm-hmm. So every partner company who has the knowledge to call APIs, our APIs, can actually just put an add-on on AIN and sell additional things to their customers. They can bring them in, develop something specific, and then ship it together with AIN. So that's a huge benefit. And we're looking towards partners to also go into niches. Certain industries we might not look into at the first time, but that's where we have partners and that's where they support.
Cool. We're running out of time. Any last words you want to say about AIN?
I think it's It's a great idea. It's more than a great idea. It's already implemented. It's released for a long time, and now we're seeing traction. And I'm really excited to be part of the team and to see that network grow. So I'm looking forward.
Fantastic. Pascal, that's been fantastic. That's been great. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.